Hello Internet, my name is CP127 and welcome back to Minecraft Infdev. Here we are again in the Minecraft Infdev world. So, today's episode we are going to be sort of expanding on a previous project that we did in the series, which is the bridge. So about 4 or 5 episodes ago now, I think, we finished work on that bridge over there. Well, today I have flattened out a large section of land down there, and we're going to be extending the bridge from there over to there, and it'll make sense eventually. But first, one, why is there so many sheep all of a sudden? Two, I read some of your comments on episode 31 or 32, and most of you said to put the entrance to the I'm just going to call it the glass house. You said to put the entrance on this side because it's closer to the path, which, fair enough, that makes sense. So I've gone ahead and removed the entrances on the other side of this building. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, so over here, ta-da! Another massive stretch of land has been created for us to build things on, and the main thing I want to build on this at the moment is, starting today, I'm going to be basically like, imagine like this part, imagine this, but part 2. It goes over there, and it's also a little more dilapidated. So if this bridge has remained in working order, then the section that we're going to be beginning to build in this episode is going to be a lot more dilapidated, and it won't go, and like the bridge part of the bridge, like it won't go all the way, but you'll still be able to, in a sense, you'll be able to see one of these tower thingies in the distance still. So it should be quite interesting, I think. So to start with, we're going to have to sort of knock a hole through this wall. Kind of annoying in a way, but we do what we must for the sake of building stuff. And one idea I've had is that basically a lot of the stuff in this sort of area, like this general area, like down there, and maybe some of the stuff surrounding the bridge as well, I might try and give it a vague sort of theme based on some comments that some of you left previously. So, you know, that might be a thing that happens in the near future. I can't be too certain, to be honest, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, don't be surprised, though, if, like, there is some vague elements of, like, theming going on down there, like, around that particular section. Maybe not around here and on this area, because there's already a bunch of sort of random buildings like that and that and that, but probably, like, around the bridge and the lighthouse, there might be there might be more obvious elements of theming involved. Hang on, I've messed this up. It should be like this. Yeah, and then there we go. So it goes like this. One. This is how it. No. So yeah, this is roughly how it will go. I'm gonna do it on this side. I'm gonna start by doing it on this side because, well, I'm less likely to fall to my death on this side, I guess. So, and basically, at some point, the bridge will sort of taper off, I guess. In a weird way, if that makes sense. Like, it'll sort of, I guess, fall off, and there'll be like a point where the bridge just sort of looks as though it's collapsed. There'll be some probably ruins of the collapsed bridge nearby, and then way out in the distance, beyond the edge of this bit, sort of in that direction, there'll be like another one of these towers, but it'll be sort of, again, run down and dilapidated. So in this episode, we're going to be starting the basic sort of framework of the bridge itself, like this, and then in the next episode or two, we're going to spend time. So then in the next episode, we'll probably like fill in the space in between like the bridge, if that makes sense, and then like there'll be other, and we'll probably start working on things like towers and arches again, you know, that sort of thing. One idea I've had as well is that this bridge could be like a living bridge. Like a lot of old medieval bridges actually used to have houses on them, sort of balancing on the bridge in a weird way. So one thing that I could do here is potentially have houses that sort of stick out on the side of the bridge, potentially, or something similar. So this is all purely speculation. It's probably not going to be quite so elaborate as I'm describing it, but hopefully we get a general idea, well, you get a general idea of what I'm trying to say here. So now that the path is too high up for me to do it on the ground, I'm going to have to slowly inch my way across like this. And if anyone here has ever wondered, like, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if there's some of you who wonder why I don't just crouch. Well, right now I am spam pressing the shift key. I have sticky keys turned off, don't worry. And nothing's happening. Basically, crouching wasn't introduced until well into the alpha stages, like the very last Secret Friday update, which came out on a Saturday. Point is, like, sneaking or crouching or whatever you want to call it, it's not in the game yet, and it won't be in the game for a long time. So, anyway, so continuing along here. I'm thinking it's probably going to go... I'm thinking the bridge itself is probably going to go until... It's going to go alongside this staircase bit, but it's probably going to sort of collapse, so to speak, if you know what I mean, around the edge where that patch of stone is. So, if we do that, so basically that's roughly where we've got to build the bridge over to. Ow. And just in general, this bridge, yeah, it's a bridge. Okay, so now that we've got that far, I've got to walk all the way back. Yeah. Alright. So, since this is going to be a bit monotonous, it's going to take a while, I'm going to just cut back in a bit when I've, like, done some more of it. Just to save a little bit of time on this episode. Okay, and we're back. So, we've gotten that far, which, considering that before we were about there-ish, that's some progress. But we still got a ways to go before, like, this is probably decent by my standards anyway. So, for now though, let's switch things up and start doing the other end of the bridge, or rather, like, basically the other sort of guard railing. And I've just realized... oh no, I've just realized this should be here. This needs to be one block lower. So for example, this needs to be down here, because I have messed up. I've blown it, boys and girls, and anyone else who's watching. I've blown it, people. I've blown it. It's not the best. Well, that's not great, but luckily it won't be too hard for me to fix that. But for now, let's start working on the other sort of lining for the path, so that we can get things going in the right direction still. Yeah. Alright. So. Alright. Okay. Running out of cobblestone, so you might need to head back to the house and get some more. But overall, things are going well. Anyway. So we just gotta keep building this. So if we keep bridging out along here, like this. Ah. Just yay. Okay, well, let's take a minute then to just try and retrieve our stuff. Okay, let me just get up these stairs. Alright, here we go. So while I'm retrieving my stuff, just thinking about some bits and pieces. Oh, I left my door open. So, yeah, I mean, just realized I could go, wait, I can go a different way now. I remember, as I sort of showed briefly at the beginning of the last episode, or sometime during last episode, I've basically just knocked a hole in this wall, and now I can just walk through the garden bit to get back to where I was. It's very convenient, actually, since I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time working in this sort of area. So anyway, that being said, in the next, yeah, so in the next episode, probably gonna need to, oh, there's all my stuff. Okay, never mind. I guess we don't need to ramble on about other stuff, or what's happening next time. Okay, so, now that we've got our stuff back, we gotta head back up, and, sort of, just noticed, by the way, there are no mobs. I'm not seeing very many mobs today. I've only just noticed it's like everything seems to be a bit empty today. I mean, granted, it's not normally like swarming with mobs like it was in the early episodes, but at the same time, like, it's not like there's no mobs whatsoever. It's weird. It's kind of eerie. Oh, no, wait, there's a singular sheep. There's 3 sheep and that's it. Anyway. So, so as I'm building across, this does obviously remind me a bit of the construction of that bridge. I don't think this one's quite as long, so that's something. But also as well, I think I kind of like the idea of just building a bunch of stuff that's like kind of ruined or dilapidated and sort of run down a little bit, like it's an old ancient place. That actually that idea appeals to me quite a lot at the moment. So I think in the next few episodes, I wouldn't be surprised if once the bridge is completed, we move on to similar-ish projects, like things that have a similar general vibe, I guess. You know, like there's the same kind of, like I said, there might be some kind of theming going on in the next few builds. I'm not sure though. Like one idea off the top of my head, like I've got bridge there and bridge here, and then you got a hill there. Imagine for me, if you will, that there's like there's like a massive tower or a fortress, like a little mini fortress of some kind on top of that hill, almost sort of guarding this area, and then somewhere down there on the other side of the bridge is like a little port side bay. Like, I think that could work. I think definitely, if there's one thing I want to do in this series, other than playing old Minecraft and attempting to make a living out, well, maybe not make a living, but attempting to make something entertaining out of it, which right now I think I'm failing. But if there's one thing I want to do in this series, it's use this lake and build something around it, and like use that as a big source of like the theming of the series, and like use that for a big sort of spot for building. Hang on, I think yeah, there we go. I could just do that. I can just build from here. Okay. This is going to be a lot easier then, because I don't have to walk all the way back up just to get to this, like just to continue building. So let's finish building this, and then I'll go back to the house and grab some more cobblestone for the next bit of the build. Okay, hang on. I keep placing in the wrong spot. It's actually kind of annoying. A little bit more. Okay. A little bit. We got to keep going a bit more. That's completely wrong. A little more. A little more. A little more. Little more. Little more. Little more. And there we go. I'll leave it at that. Okay. And okay, so the sun is rising. This is fine. Everything's just going well. So we've done that today, and even though the one that's this one over here is one block too high, that shouldn't be too hard to fix. So in the next episode, what I'll do is I'll basically start building towers similar to those ones. Maybe a little bit more elaborate, I don't know. Maybe not. Not too sure yet. The main thing I'm going to do in the next episode, right, is I'm going to build a tower sort of out there in the water out there, and obviously make sure it's about the same height as these towers. Maybe have that one be a little more elaborate because it's out in the sea, but the point is it'll look like it'll be all collapsed and sort of broken, and that's basically going to be the focus of next episode. As for this episode, I think, if I check the timing, yep. I think for this episode, that's going to be it. So, if you enjoyed this episode, then thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, then, you know, check out the next one or something. That'd be helpful. Tell your friends, tell your family, I guess. Like, comment, subscribe, but you don't have to. And as I kill pigs on this new day in the world, I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.